Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are at the beginning of week 5 of IPL 2020, and what a good 4 weeks it has been so far. Well, to get our experts back in action, let me get in 12th man MP from Kolkata and 12th man Tings from Mumbai.
Hi
How are you
guys.
doing, guys?
All good.
Quite bad, bruised with the last night's game, but still alive, will survive and come back.
Excellent, man. Mixed bag so far, man. Some extremely close games, some games made extremely close by teams that we will talk about in some time, and some just runaway one-side victories. So
I mean,
let's yeah.
no, if you go like backwards, like from what happened yesterday and what happened, like yesterday was a one-sided game. The game just before that was like a choked game. Like we will be talking about things like that.
Yes,
So
yes.
yes, I quite agree with you. It's been quite a topsy-turvy kind of a week. I don't think any of the games were that interesting, which we had on the first week, like, a couple of tie matches or something on those lines. But yes, let's see what is the best we got out of this week.
I guess lines are being drawn very clearly now. Now that we're almost halfway through the tournament, probably a little over halfway through the tournament.
Mhm.
So without wasting much time, let's get Ashlyn on to uh, show us highlights of the week that went by, the week that was. Ashlyn, over to you. Thank you very much, Ashlyn. That was wonderful. Uh, Ashlyn does a wonderful job every week encapsulating pretty much everything that happened in those 2 minutes and helps me make notes on what we need to talk about also. So thanks once again, Ashlyn. Uh, Guys, let's do something different. Let's get in our fan of the week first before we get into our general discussion. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have with us today from Kolkata Anand Saraf, who is VP with Barclays Bank. Uh, hey, Anand, good to have you on board. One sec, you are on mute. Anand, you need to unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Hi Mahesh, hi Deepak, thank you. Hello to everyone. Thank you for having me over. Hope all of you are well.
Wonderful. Thank you for following us. Thank you for being our super fan of the week. How has the IPL been for you?
Deepak, I missed what you last said.
Yeah, Deepak,
Yeah,
I,
that's
I was
something else.
asking you, IPL 2020 compared to the previous editions. What's your take on it?
So clearly, we are yet to reach the business end of the tournament. But I believe in a T20 match, we were somewhere between over 8 and 15 currently. So, yes, the excitement will build up over the next few weeks as we get closer matches than what we've seen till now. And uh, I think lots of exciting moments ahead. A lot of teams which are currently between 3 and 6, and you may see the scoreboard actually change dramatically over the next few matches. So I would really watch out for the next week because as we stand today, a lot of teams which are at 4, 5, or 6, that sequence can change very, very quickly. So interesting, crucial matches ahead. A crucial week as far as I am concerned. The next week at IPL, and yes, if you compare the week gone by with the first couple of weeks, clearly the quality of performances have improved dramatically. And I remember in one of our previous shows, somebody spoke about, I think you spoke about the quality of fielding and all of that. So clearly, we
Tremendous
are on
improvement in
a
that. Yes.
good, path as far as performance is concerned. And players are back into their groove. They're used to the conditions now. So be it Dubai, be it Sharjah, you will see the tempo really pick up going forward.
Deepak, I would like to ask something.
Yeah.
What difference do you feel with games with the spectators and without the spectators on the stadium? Do you think that makes a difference in the game of the players?
Absolutely, absolutely. Make no mistake about it. Ultimately, the adrenaline rush which is there when you have the crowd, when you have a 40, 50, 60, 70,000 crowd rooting for you in the final stages, either batting or bowling, that makes the difference. So clearly, that is being missed. Having said that, we have a bunch of professional cricketers who are now doing this year after year. So yes, while there won't be any let up in intensity at their end, but yes, the pressure factor definitely would be less. So imagine, a batsman coming into bat and he has a 20-run target in the last over, and he doesn't have anybody else shouting behind his back. So definitely the pressure quotient is lower. But yes, I don't think the intensity would be low as far as the professional cricketers are concerned.
But
I
honestly,
feel
I hope this is the last time we.
as if it's during our school days. Like when invigilators were not there, some people used to get very rash and used to cheat with their innings. And this is what Smith reminds me every time when he comes on the field. Just because the spectators are not there, he becomes so rash and he just plays some obnoxious shots and he's been getting out. And similarly, there are good students, whether the invigilators are there or not, they have to score in their matches. Like these Rahul Tewatia and Shubham Gill. These are those good students, whether the crowd is there or not, they have to score. They know that, they have to, like, otherwise their careers are like on the stake.
Mahesh, so I'll throw the question to you. Which kind of a student were you?
Absolutely.
I would like somewhere middle. You know me better. We've been together since class 2. So, yeah, I wouldn't be rash, Dibu, but yeah.
Even
Chance
Tinku, I've heard a lot of stories about his school days. So we'll not get there because I think cricket is a far safer topic to talk about. Anand, I know you're a Kolkata, so heart of hearts, you would want KKR to be at the top of the table. But they seem to be, like you rightly said, 4, 5, 6 is the place to watch in the coming week. And KKR, the way they played in the week that's gone by, they've completely thrown that open to everyone else to kind of, come in and take a dig at it. But if it's not KKR, who do you see winning this tournament?
I'm putting my money this year on RCB because I think RCB, Royal Challengers Bangalore, I have a strong feeling that the team this year might surprise Mumbai Indians when it matters the most in crunch moments, be it the semi-final or the final. So this year I would put my money on RCB being the dark horse for this year's edition. Make no mistake about it, Virat Kohli wants to prove a point more to himself than anyone else.
True,
And
I
you can
kind
see
of
that through a string of last couple of performances.
yes, indeed, he's been brilliant, and not only that, you have
He's speaking
and
at
AB
the
de
right
Villiers now coming back into form. You now have a Chris Morris on the side who's adding the extra balance.
Absolutely.
So RCB looks a very different side from what they
Yes.
looked like in the first week when Kohli was being taunted at by not taking names, but we know who. And yep, excellent point. Anand,
Yes.
thank you for joining us. It's been wonderful having you with us and getting an insight from a banker who knows where to put his money. Right. So if I'm placing any bets, I'm going to go with you and put my money on RCB from now on. Thank you, buddy. Have a great evening.
Thank you. Thank you.
We look forward
Pleasure.
to the show.
Take
Wish
care,
you all
Anand.
the same. Absolutely. And on a concluding note, I must add that I was delighted to see last week or the week before your friend Nikhil from Melbourne. He has a museum in-house.
Yes.
I was in awe of the collection that he was displaying on your show. Simply unbelievable. So thank you once again for having me over. Cheers.
Thank you. We will let Nikhil know about this.
See you soon, Anand.
All right, guys. So, game with no spectators. It cannot be the same. I mean, that's my take on it. Because, like Anand said, when you're going into bat with 20 needed, no matter what your mindset, 20,000 people cheering for you will add to that adrenaline. I mean, no two ways about it. But we've got to make. I think they're doing a fantastic job given the current conditions. So kudos to all the players playing on those trying conditions day in day out. The day they're not playing, they're at the nets. Fabulous. Talks about the level of fitness that these guys maintain. But moving on to our next point, Kings 11 Punjab. Big boss, universal boss, Chris Gayle is back. I'll let Tinku take on this. Tinku, what are they doing about choking in every game?
I don't know. Last Saturday we were talking about them, and I was like saying it's going to be Kings doing a Hadippa today, and they messed up. They almost did a Hadippa, but they really messed up. 21 needed in 3 overs, 9 wickets in hand, and losing from there. It was such a irritating feeling. Was them bad the way they batted. Same thing happened a couple of days back, where they almost choked, and Puran had to come out and hit a 6. Why it's happening is really surprising. There's something there in their minds. I don't know what. Like KL Rahul is starting off with a bang. He's batting very well. Then suddenly slowing down. He doesn't have the confidence with the players down the line whether they'll be able to take the game to the finishing line or no. So he wants to be there till the end. And once he gets out, the pressures on the other players who are coming in who are not used to the conditions, and they're just not able to perform. They are definitely a much better side than where they are standing as of now.
And I think
Chris Gayle coming back, we saw the difference. We really saw the difference. But again, they almost choked in the end.
choked. I think one point that I noticed, and I think I told you during the game also, that you could bat beautifully and you could be the best player in the world, but if you're not finishing the game, then I don't think you qualify to become the best player in the world. Because Mayank Agarwal started off brilliantly. He was going hammer and tongs at everything and threw his wicket away after crossing 50. Now that is the difference between a good side and a great side. A great side will have guys who will, make it count when you're in form, like Kohli did, right?
Yeah,
but
you have to continue to finish the game, yeah.
I guess the last match that we saw versus KKR, they luck favored them that little bit. One bad ball from I think it was Nareen bowling the last over, and Puran hit him for a six.
It was Chahal.
So it was RCB. Okay, sorry, yeah. and maybe that is just the kind of turnaround in luck that they needed. So let's hope they turn things around from now on. Manish, yeah.
Coming back to the choking factor, you know what I feel like, you have a batting coach, you have a fielding coach, you also have these psychiatrists who are taking care of your mental state in a game. The kind of pressure which Punjab was going through, it is basically a mental thing. That getting choked is nothing to do with their talent. It's all mental. Like, the fear of losing, probably. They've been like continuously losing, probably the last year's effect. The confidence level that can only be uplifted when you have a good, like a physio psychiatrist who can help you. I think every team has one nowadays.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
Who will be laughing most at the failure of Punjab, I think, is probably Kohli, because Punjab has Kumble sitting there as coach, and we all know that he was not the favorite coach for Team India, and we all know why, right? So I think it will bring a smile on someone's faces, but well, that is it. I have a strong feeling that the first match that they lost was due to a bad umpiring decision that went into the super over and they lost. It was the start of the bad luck. And for all you might know, the last game versus RCB is the small little turn that they needed, winning the game of the last ball. And it might be a different side from here on. We'll wait and watch. But Mahesh, I'll throw the next question to you, which is about Tinku dropped out. We'll get him back as soon as we can. But yeah, next question to you is about our city, KKR. A change in captaincy in the middle of the tournament.
This is exactly what we were talking a week before last, Deepu. And I always had this feeling that our current captain was not doing a great job. Like, he might be a great player, but you need leadership qualities. You need tactical brilliance, which was not there. Switching your bowlers, field placement, and things like that. These are the things which make a big difference. And Ian Morgan, who's been captaining England, and winning the World Cup. So obviously he had the experience, and if he had the experience, why not use him as a captain? We have him in the team. I mean, I do understand the debate which we had, most of the players are Indians and would be followed by an Indian as a captain. I quite don't agree.
Personally, I don't agree with that. But I have a small difference in opinion here. There's this very age-old debate that is a team as good as the captain, or is the captain as good as the team? And I think it's the latter. A captain is as good as the team is. If a team is playing well, if the same KKR has played well under Dinesh Karthik in the past, right? It's never been like he's been a continuous failure. He's been the captain for the last couple of seasons. Morgan, just one game, but it was a drubbing last night, right? So I just think it's a little unfair to kind of put it all on the captain. But the change has been made by the powers that be, and let's hope it works for KKR from now on at least.
Hopefully. But, I do agree, Deepak, what you're trying to say. It is the captain which keeps the team together, and the team should feel like being led by the real captain. So I do not know about how far Ian Morgan will be successful in that, but I'm sure the think tank must have had weighed all their consequences and plus. And I'm sure. Let's hope for the best.
Let's hope for the best. Absolutely.
Performing with the back, I think it's not a bad idea. Captain leading from the front. So maybe they needed the change, and Dinesh Karthik wasn't really performing. Just one good game so far. So probably they need to change the wicketkeeper. This is what they're thinking. How can they keep the captain out? So maybe that's the reason why he's been told to resign and Morgan taking over.
Actually, captain plays a very big role. We've seen how Dhoni has been doing, getting the stumps, guiding the bowlers, even field wise. Even when Kohli is captain, he's always there as a help. So once a captain, always the captain. So a captain has a special place in the field. So Morgan has been captaining England for quite some time right now. So let's use his experience. I would support the decision what KKR management team has done.
So on that front, I would then ask you two guys to honestly tell me if you think RR needs to do the same, because I don't see Steve Smith doing anything any different than what Karthik has done so far. He's been clueless on the field. He's been clueless with the bat. In fact, rash all the way through. He's batting like a number 11 batsman for all I know.
That's what I've been pointing out, Deepak. He's behaving like those backbenchers and those rash students who is just not interested in studying in their class. He needs to be pulled up. Like somebody needs to pull him up. And such a great talent. But
Well,
he needs guys.
well, the first two games he played really well. Suddenly he's gone off the rock. Like I don't know what's happened with him.
Tiku, it's not about going out. No, I don't. It's not about going out of form or whatever. It's the way he's getting out.
Yeah,
He's trying to have a go at every ball from ball one and getting out in the most uncharacteristic fashion. Not expected from someone who is the captain, or rather was the captain of Australia. But like they say, form is temporary, class is permanent. Honestly, Steve Smith hasn't shown any class till now. And I would really want him to come back, because that will give RR the edge that they've been missing so far. Moving on to our next point, Tinku, your thoughts on the second half of the tournament, the slowness of the pitches and the role that the spinners will play from here on.
Well, we've seen the spinners into play already the last few games. The spinners are doing a good job. They're containing in the middle overs, the important overs, where generally the teams take off. So it's been the first 6 overs are going for a plenty, and the next 7-8 overs the spinners are controlling the game. And as we move forward, the spinners will come further into play. And each team is having 2 or 3 spinners. Like Ashwin is doing very well. Murugan Ashwin did a good job the other day. Chahal has been good. Washington Sundar coming in the power play overs and doing a fantastic job. Like he's best suited for that role at the moment. Chahar did yesterday a fantastic job, and it was because of that particular 1 over that KKR didn't get any chance to come back in the game. That 1 over where 2 wickets went. So spinners will take charge now, and the pacers will be maybe the helping hand. Pacers will have to do job up front and maybe in the last log overs, last 3-4 overs, and in between the spinners. They'll be the wicket taking guys, not just containing the wicket taking guys too.
To me, the treat this week, though, has been the return to form of King Kohli. That beautiful innings of 90. The innings after that, when ABD scored a quick-fire 73, Kohli looked scratchy, but he stuck around till the end, didn't give his wicket up. He kept one end steady while ABD had a go. And like Anand mentioned, I think it is ominous signs for the other teams, because if King Kohli and ABD, and then they have Chris Morris in the side now, who's bowling brilliantly, who provides the impetus towards the end of the innings. So Kohli is probably the guy to look out for now. We have Nikhil back with us. Nikhil from Australia. Hey Nikhil, how are you doing? Nikhil, you have one more fan in our fan of the week. Anand Saraf was here a while back, and he was in awe of your museum collection. So he's already planning a trip to Melbourne once he can get out and come and see you. But Nikhil says Smith should open from a guy living in Australia is huge.
Deepak, we've lost you.
Couple of games. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
The Smith did open a couple of games, came one down. Nothing seems to be working. Ben Stokes is back in the side for RR. Let's see. Let's hope that does something different for them. Pallavi Das says RCB looks good, but what are the chinks? And Kohli looks in form. Kohli does look in form, and Kohli does look in very ominous form for the other oppositions. We've already spoken about that enough. We will move into our next segment, where we have the ever smiling or never smiling. He's always so serious about his job. Rudransh Das from Mumbai, our 12th man, who will take us through the player of the week or the players of the week. Hey, Rudy.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good to see you smile, boy. Good to see you smile.
So, for this week's player of the week, it is the lifesaver Sam Curran. Yes, it has been a very different season because of no fans and the way CSK, because obviously being a fan of CSK, they played different. When against SRH, when CSK was playing the second game, we expected when they won the toss that Shane Watson and Faf du Plessis would open the batting and they would give a big booster. But I think that time a lot of commentators and everyone were very surprised when Sam Curran was sent, because it was not the first time Sam Curran opened the innings in IPL. He has opened it before, but not very successful. That time he was very great for Punjab and he only scored 20 runs. So we all expected that this might be a little issue, but when we found out that why he was sent to give a nice start in the power play, which is exactly what he did, it gave a little boost to what the CSK's innings were, 168, and a lot of cameos from Raidu and Shane Watson, which helped them seal and defend a total of 168. And a bowler for the week, someone who have been talking quite a lot of, is Chris Morris. And I was thinking of Chris Morris as the fact that this tournament hasn't been just because of Pacers. Dale Steyn, who is a very troublesome bowler and an amazing bowler. His economy rate is 11 per over. So it must be very difficult for the Pacers. But Chris Morris, he came in his first game and he overtook his teammate Washington Sundar's economy record in the IPL 2020. And yeah, the way Chris Morris is playing, we saw him bat the other day, 25 runs of 8 balls, and the way he's defending and not letting the batsmen hit sixes and then getting the wickets, he might get some silverware in RCB's dressing room. Thank you.
Thank you, Rudy. Rudy, were you here last week when we spoke to Nikhil Daftri and did you see
Yeah.
the museum?
Yeah.
Nikhil says, amazed by Rudy's knowledge and expert opinion. Wow.
Thank you.
So I won't be surprised if he clicks a picture of you and puts it in his museum.
Long way
Actually,
to go for that.
actually, we all are so proud of you, Rudy. Like, we just love hearing what you say. The way you're following the game, making those minor
But
points.
when I talk about, because I'm a CSK fan, so for the last 2 consecutive weeks, I've been only getting CSK players, so people think that I'm being very biased.
And those people,
Who's in the top 4 now?
basically your mom, right?
What?
Those people that you're talking about is basically your mom.
Yeah.
She didn't let you wear the t-shirt today.
Yeah, that's why I was going to wear a CSK jersey today.
No, dude. Wear your heart on your sleeve. Okay, wear the t-shirt every time you want it, because even after last night's match, my uncle is wearing a KKR t-shirt. So
That's very tough for anyone to, after what yesterday game was.
Yeah, but then it's your team, Moody. Come on. We have our good and bad days. Doesn't mean I'll desert my team,
exactly. You don't love your team because they win or lose. You love them because you love them, right?
Correct.
Anyway, great having you with us, Rudy. Thank you so much for those wonderful insights.
Thank you.
We'll see you again next week. And keep smiling.
Okay, Rudy, does CSK win tonight?
It will. If they do what they did last game. I was actually, a fact I would like to share was that I think in the toss of last time, SRF versus CSK, they told that this situation which CSK were in, they were in the same situation in 2010, and luck went in their way and they ended up winning the IPL. So maybe that can happen today. Crosses are in my feet and hands.
All the best to you and the CSK fans. But I don't see that happening, frankly speaking. But
It'll happen. Just wait and watch.
let's see what
Don't
happens.
listen to Tinku Uncle, because Tinku Uncle has very conveniently chosen 3 teams. One is where he's born, one is where his wife is born, and one Punjab because he's a Sardari. 3 out of 8 teams he's chosen, and he keeps bragging about it that I beat you.
Where his team only beat his team.
Excellent. We'll see you next week, Rudy. Thank you so much.
Take care, Rudy. Bye.
All right, guys, we now quickly move on to the Lakers contest, and we have this wonderful little child who answered and got 7 out of 9 answers right, predictions, right? Very quickly, without wasting any time, we bring with us Kimaya Gupta and her father, Nitin Gupta. The reason why Nitin is here is because Kimaya thrashed him in that contest. All right? So, Kimaya, before we go any further, can you tell us how happy you are about beating Dad at this contest?
I'm extremely happy. He thought I would lose. He actually said that I was choosing the wrong teams.
The only reason I'm sitting here is that I can, some of her knowledge can rub off me.
Knowledge or luck?
Knowledge, yeah.
Okay, I'll give it to you. Kimaya, your favorite team in this tournament? Let me guess. Don't tell me. Going by the answers you gave, it has to be MI. Correct?
Yes, they will win.
Yeah, because I think every other game you must have thought about who might win, might lose, but MI you just kept ticking MI, right?
Even if they were playing the best games, they're going to win.
So your dad keeps investing in Ambani's shares, and you keep supporting the MI team, and they seem to be going great guns in both places. Nitin, how does it feel to lose to her?
Dude, I'm getting a food hamper apparently. So I don't care whether she wins or I win.
In fact, this morning, so
It is very clear.
Nitin and Parul is Kimaya's mom, are dear friends. And this morning, when I called Parul and told her that Kimaya has won, she went and told Nitin she's won, and he was like, "Okay, when is the food coming? Tonight or tomorrow?" But fantastic, Kimaya. You know what? Not only have you won that hamper, you have also qualified with two other members of the club who have already qualified, and we will bring you back in towards the end of the tournament when the qualifiers start, and then we will play for a bigger prize. If Nitin wants, it might just be a bigger food hamper, but we'll figure that out later as we go along. So for now, keep watching our show. No, don't stop watching our show because you won already. Okay, so keep watching our show every Saturday. Keep coming back and keep supporting us. Thank you for joining us.
Guys, I have one question for you, one for your
Yeah.
expert comments. Now, we all agree that the pitches are getting slower and spinners will play an important part going forward. So Mumbai has made a very pace-heavy team. You know, all their important bowlers are some of the best fast bowlers in the world. They only have Chahar. They don't know who they have else in the reserve. But do you see them changing their strategy, or this will actually impact them in the negative in the second portion of the IPL?
I'll let Tinku go first.
Yeah, they have Krunal Pandya too, and Krunal has been doing a good job. So like two spinners are good enough in the team. Like for in 20 overs, if you get 8 overs from the spinners, that's a decent thing. Pace bowlers are needed up front also in the end too. So Krunal Pandya and Rahul Chahar are good. They are good. They could have been happier having another player, but I think these two are doing a good job and they'll continue doing it.
Also, the Pacers are bowling brilliantly. So even though the wicket has slowed down, a Bumrah and a Bolt on any wicket is a Bumrah and a Bolt. I mean, they would still put fear in the batsmen's hearts, no matter how docile the pitch may be. But very valid point. Mahesh, you have any thoughts on that?
I think Kunal, guys, I agree to things what Kunal will play a role. And they have these, sometimes, like Pollard is not like a fast bowler kind of a bowler. He has this medium pace, which he changes the speed of the ball and which makes a difference, according to the pitch. So they will be using this, but I do agree there will be a difference. They've been focusing too much on pace bowlers. If they had a couple of spinners, would have made a difference. They should have had a.
Okay, Kimaya, a quick one. Rajasthan Royals have just won the toss and have chosen to bat against RCB. Your winner for this game?
RCB.
All right, because of Kohli. And that smile said it all. All right, I hope RCB does win and come back strongly into the game like most of us have been saying now. Nitin, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Kimaya. It was wonderful. We will see you again soon.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And all of you are invited for dinner.
You sure about that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You'll have to send me a flight ticket too for that.
Boss, if you are as big a foodie as Deepak is, I think
I
You
will
will
fly.
Well, Deepak don't have to be foodies, no? That's one of the criteria you have to tick.
Correct.
All right, guys, this is not probably the show to talk about food. So let's move on to our next segment. Thank you, Nitin. Thank you, Kimaya.
all right, bye. Thank you, guys.
Bye. Take care.
So while Kimaya got 7 answers out of 9 right, we had a bunch of other people who got 6 right. Now, it's not fair to kind of leave them out. So what we've decided is to have a small quiz between the 3 of them. And the winner of this will be sent a small little token of appreciation from our side. So let me quickly get on with us. Vikram Swaroop. Mahesh and Tinku, mute while we do this.
Yeah.
Vikram will have to wait because Manju and Dhrishil dropped out. Vikram, can you put your camera on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Vikram is here. Also, we have with us Manju Udasi, who was the second participant, and we are waiting for the third one,
I
Dhrushil.
think you should give by default Manju. She has a birthday today.
You're making it sound like you're doing her a favor. You never know. Manju might just win it. So, yeah, okay. Dhrushil is here too.
Hey everyone. Hey.
Dhrushil, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm here on behalf of my dad. My dad is really busy, and I'm just joining on his behalf. I can't
Yes.
claim to be as good at cricket as he is, but that's fine, I guess.
That's all right. Manju Aunty confessed this morning that she does eeny, meeny, miny, mo and picks the team that wins, right? So let's hope you get the better of her at least. Guys, we'll run you through 3 questions, okay?
Okay.
And I'll put you on mute. And
Yeah.
if you know the answer, put your hand up. Okay?
Okay.
So Vikram on mute, Manju on mute, and Dhrushil on mute. All right, Manju is lost again. She just messaged me, she's having network issues. Manju, can you hear me? Guys, we'll wait for a minute. If she doesn't join in, then we'll just wish her happy birthday and not let her win anything in that case. Vikram seems to be happiest that Manju's not available anymore. One hurdle out of the way. So let me bring.
Deepak, meanwhile, if we have a minute, I would just like to put a question on you, Deepak.
Yeah, go ahead.
What would be the reason the other day getting AB de Villiers down the order? I mean, it's been bothering me. I mean, he is someone who knows how to play in every kind of a pitch. Like in a pitch like Sharjah, where things are slowing down in spite of being such a small ground, he showed that how to hit and how to connect and how to take the ballers. I mean, we don't need to prove what AB de Villiers can do, but why is the team putting him down the order?
Honestly, I think that was a one-off incident. I don't see that happening again. In the post-match conference, when Virat Kohli was asked the same question, to me it was fairly evident that this wasn't his call. It seemed like a think tank decision to let ABD come down a little bit and let Washington Sundar and who else did they send up? They sent someone else up before him also.
Shivam Dubey.
Shivam Dubey. Yeah. They wanted them to have a go. Didn't make any sense to any one of us. Very apparently not to Kohli either. But I guess that's done and out of the way. I don't personally see it happening ever again.
But that's generally a bit of a problem with RCB historically, where they're always figuring out their best 11 until the last game, and then they go into the knockouts trying to figure out what their best 11 is. So I think that's a problem with RCB. I mean, they still haven't played Moeen Ali, who for whatever reason is not getting chosen in this team. There are a lot of
Moeen Ali, yes, but might come in handy in after a couple of games more as the wickets get a little slower. So we might see that. I guess the restriction of playing have Chris Morris now. The fight really is between Chris Morris and Moeen Ali for that all-rounder spot. So Morris is playing well so far. Moeen Ali got a couple of games, or he got one game only and didn't do much. So looks difficult for him to.
He can replace Udana, Ishru Udana.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Ishru
Udana isn't really bowling all 4 overs. He's just bowling a couple of overs, and he's not a bat. Moeen Ali can give them a batting option too. So I think maybe next game we should see Moeen Ali again.
No, but Chris Morris is an all-rounder for all practical. Chris Morris is an all-rounder for all practical purposes. He's not a mug with the bat.
No, I'm talking about Udana.
Udana, the Sri Lankan guy.
Correct. Yeah, that might be an option. So Manju is back, and we'll hope she can take part in this. Very quickly, guys, I'll run you through the questions. I mean, back on mute, and if you know the answer, put your hand up. Okay. Which team won the first ever IPL? Go, Drushil.
Rajasthan Royals.
Excellent. Vikram seems to have frozen. I don't know. That question wasn't that difficult? Okay. Yeah, I guess he's.
Vikram is out.
Vikram, can you hear me? Dude, we're still a few days away from Garba. You're going all around the screen. Yeah, you can hear me. Okay.
Hello.
You missed the first question, so stay focused for the next one. Who won the last IPL? Last year's IPL was won by Drushil?
Mumbai Indians.
Excellent. Excellent. You've already won the quiz, but just for formality's sake, I will ask you one final question.
Sure.
Who will win IPL this year?
It's an even year. I'm going to say Mumbai Indians, but it's Mumbai Indians always wins every odd year. It's either Mumbai Indians or RCB. I can't pick. I think it's going to be one of them.
Not DC?
DC, injuries and more injuries. I don't see them lasting through the tournament with all the injuries that they have.
True. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Drushil, thank you for your insights too. Vikram, sorry, the hamper that we're going to send Drushil ice cream, but you seem to have frozen much before the ice cream did. So, unfortunately, you missed out on this, but we hope you come back.
I need to log in from the other device. I think there's a lot of disturbance. I can't hear properly. So just let me try from the.
We'll bring you back next week, brother. We'll bring you back next week.
Just give me a second.
Drushil, thank you very much.
All right, yeah, I'll be leaving.
Keep watching us, and we'll look forward to seeing you again.
Awesome. Have fun.
Just
Bye.
wow, excellent. So Drushil stays in the United States, but like every Indian boy, follows cricket no matter which part of the world he is in. Guys, that brings us to our next segment, which is the upcoming matches this week. So, Ashlyn, very quickly, can we have the matches for the coming week? There you go. You can see it on your screen, so I will not read it out for you. Big week for CSK. This is, again, a week where they have 3 games, quite like the first week of IPL, when they had 3 games. And if the last game that they played is anything to go by, then they might be a team to watch out for this week. And as was very correctly pointed out by Anand, this is the week when the number 4, number 5, number 6 will more or less kind of get decided for the qualifiers. Tinku, your pick of games for this week?
I feel tonight's game, Delhi versus Chennai, should be an interesting one. We need Chennai to do well. They have to come up the ladder. Delhi Capitals on the top. Dhoni has come back to form, so he must be itching to get on the field again with the bat. He's there on the field, always keeping, but he did show he can hit some big blows still, and he scored a good 21. So I'm looking forward to that game, and also the game between Mumbai Indians and Punjab. That's again tomorrow night. Punjab, because again, being a Punjabi, I would love to see Punjab win 2 back-to-back games. They've been losing game, they've been choking, but they won the last game, so I hope they do win it tomorrow. Even if Mumbai wins, I'm a Mumbaiite, so I'll be happy either winning, but I would want Kings 11 Punjab to win tomorrow. So there's some halchal in the table. We want the people who are down to come up.
Mahesh, your thoughts, your pick for the matches?
I would keep a close watch to teams like Punjab, Chennai, and RCB, because these are the 3 teams which are going to dethrone KKR if it happens. So I will definitely watch all these three teams performing, and I would also like to see KKR, getting back to where it was under the new leadership. But the team which I genuinely want them to do well is Punjab, because they've always been the dark horses. They've always had great talent. But after last night's game, where I feel getting Gale and that turning factor of turning the defeats into a win, let's see they do not continue their choking and they continue with more confidence and they start winning more matches. So, yes.
Excellent. And I'm looking forward to all the CSK games. I would love to see Dhoni go out on a high. We all know this will probably be his last IPL. If the man walks away with a win, so be it. I mean, I don't think there can be a better finish for him, a better send-off for someone as fantastic as MSD. Very quickly, Ashton, can you show us the points table as it stands now? We have Mumbai sitting pretty at the top, doing very well in this last week and winning their games. So Mumbai Indians is at 6 points. What's most notable is the net run rate that Mumbai has. They have won some games so convincingly that they enjoy a net run rate of plus 1.353. DC same points, but a little low on the net run rate. RCB climbing up the ladder slowly but surely. And I honestly feel what Anand pointed out is they are the team to watch from here on. KKR still poised at 4, but slipping away. If they don't get their act together, they're not going to be sitting at that position for much longer. Sunrisers Hyderabad have flattered to deceive, having Bairstow, Warner, and the likes of Manish Pandey, Kane Williamson in your side. If you're at number 5, that's a Rashid Khan, then that's a huge disappointment. I mean, for a team with the amount of individual talent that they have, we would honestly think they would be sitting much higher. Chennai, we all said we want to see them higher. Rajasthan Royals, probably the second largest disappointment after Kings 11 Punjab this year.
Easily.
Yes.
Yes.
To me, the single most disappointing player this year so far has been Steve Smith.
Yes.
Not because of his scores, but because of the way he has batted.
Attitude, yeah.
Very uncharacteristic of him. And last but not the least, Kings 11 Punjab, we all hope for Miss Zinta, who's not Miss Zinta anymore, but we still want to know her as Miss Zinta because that's what we always knew her as. She's there back in Dubai cheering her team, and let's wish the lady some luck, and let's see if Punjab manages to go up the ladder this week. Guys, any closing thoughts? Go ahead. Any closing thoughts?
An interesting week coming forward, where, like as we said, number 3, 4, 5, 6 will be decided now. Top 2, I don't see any changes happening. I see Mumbai and Delhi to continue. Delhi, there might be a hiccup or two because of the injuries, but I don't see them drastically going down. So number 3, 4, 5, 6. So those games are going to be interesting. Looking forward to those games.
Mahesh, your parting thoughts for the week?
I would say that I would be watching. I expect some more youngsters to come out of the shells. Like some of them have been very consistent and they've been performing very well. In all the Rahuls, in Gills and everybody. And I expect some few more to come up. And I would also like to see how these old war horses keeping up their strengths and how do they perform. Like if you remember our conversation, Deepak, in the beginning of the tournament, we had pointed out like this T20 is going to be for the youngsters. But then we've had this balance, like some of the matches where these old war horses have been performing the way they should be. But where does AB de Villiers stand? I still don't know. Is he young? Or is he experienced old war horse? He is something so different. So I would like to see him perform and get my entertainment for the whole week. Looking forward to some interesting matches.
I always feel that ABD's parents missed out one alphabet when they were naming him. He is actually A, B, C, D, E. And the C stands for champion. He is an amazing amount of talent in that guy. He's played hockey, tennis, name the sport, and he's represented his country or a club at that level. And what a talent! What a fantastic player to have in his team.
In
But-
fact, I like the heading which you had in one of your reviews of the match. AB delivers, and he always delivers. Actually,
On time, every time, better than all the Zomatos and Swiggies and the Dunzos of the world. But yep, to me, I have a feeling that now is the time when the experience of the old war horses will start showing, because playing in the UAE is tough. It's not easy. The climate and everything, and this is where the mental strength of these cricketers now will start taking over the cricket prowess. So we've had the Tripathis, we've had the Tewatias, and we've had the Chahars occasionally, but I have a feeling it's now going to be time for the Kohlis, ABDs, Gales, Rahuls, people who've been around for a while, who are mentally tuned to take this to the next level, because that is where the difference is going to be from now on.
Watson is making a difference. Watson has started making a difference.
Faf du Plessis, they've all shown what match winners they still can be on their day, right? And T20 is not even a full day, right? So a few good overs here and there, and the game completely swings into the favor of one team. Let's wait and watch what this week has in store for us. Till then, we will all keep our eyes tuned onto our TV screens, watch these fantastic games, and meet again next Saturday, same time, 2:30, to discuss what happened this week and what will happen in the week after. Stay safe, guys. God bless.
Have a great weekend, guys. Take care.
Cheers, man.
cheers.